Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back with another UFC pay-per-view. This is the UFC card that I have been waiting for. A lot of people really were interested in 303 because they want to see Conor or whatever. A lot of people were interested in 302, which had a really good main event. That's it. 301, nobody gave a damn about. But since 300, these last pay-per-views have all been lacking something. They've been lacking importance. They have not been important or impact. They've had no important or impactful fights. They really haven't since 300. 300 definitely did. 301, Pantoja, Erceg, that was way too soon for Erceg. 302, the most important fight was Islam Makhachev versus Dustin. That was a very important fight. No knocks on that. That was an extremely important fight. 303, honestly, Yuri did not have enough time to make any adjustments. Wasn't that important. And then Lopez versus Ortega was an important fight, but that fell through. We had Lopez versus Ige, and nobody's stock grew from that. And Gary versus MVP ended up not being that important. But whatever the case is, this fight card is important. It has very important and impactful fights from top to bottom across multiple divisions. From top to bottom, this is an excellent fight card with some very interesting matchups, and we're going to break it down because, oh boy, I personally myself, there's a fly in my room. I love this card. I think this card is absolutely excellent. So let's break it down by getting to the first fight on the card, which is going to be all this praise I was giving it, and then this is our first fight. Marcin Prachnio versus Modestas Bukauskas. Yeah. This is a very, very weak light heavyweight bout. These guys are on the bottom end of the light heavyweight division, and the light heavyweight division is already one of the lower end divisions in the sport, unfortunately. I'm not a huge fan of either guy. Modestas Bukauskas, he's coming off a loss to Vitor Prachnio, which is not bad. That's not bad. Other than that, though, he's had some decent wins. Zach Pauga, Tyson Pedro, and those are okay wins. And then we ignore the massive losing streak again. He's middling. He's a middling fighter. Simple as that. But I think all around he's okay. He's okay. He's got a little bit of a reach advantage as well too. Meanwhile, Marcin Prachnio, low volume, very low volume. Sorry, Modestas Bukauskas is lower volume guy. What am I saying? Marcin Prachnio is just weak. Simple as that. He's not the best. He has one good win, which is against Khalil Roundtree, but the William Knight fight was not very good. The Devin Clark fight was not very good. There were slower paced fights. Those fights were slower paced, but I could see a world, though, where Marcin Prachnio out-volumes Modestas Bukauskas. That's one of my main pinpoints, and I don't know why I wrote Marcin was lower volume. My notes are bad. Modestas Bukauskas, I don't like him in the spot, and I don't like Marcin Prachnio in the spot. The main thing that's leading me to go Marcin Prachnio I think is going to lose is his first UFC fight, which was against Sam Alvey. And if you lose to Sam Alvey in one round, you're garbage. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. It hurts to say it, but Sam Alvey is tied for the longest losing streak in the sport, and he would have the longest losing streak in the sport if it were not for a draw that saved him. So thankfully now he's tied with Tony Ferguson. Yeah. Give me Modestas Bukauskas to win this fight on a decision, but do not lay money on him. He is minus 162. I wouldn't put money on either guy. I've talked too much about that awful fight. Shauna Bannon versus... Nope, she's not there anymore. Nope, that is not her. She's now fighting Elise Ardeline. Might as well just put the Sherdog page up. Nope, not that. Just so we can at least see who she's fighting. I don't know why they haven't updated it yet. There's been plenty of time to update that. It's very weird. But yeah, it's going to be Shauna Bannon taking on Elise Ardeline. I don't even know I did all that for this fight. This fight's not very good because Shauna Bannon, she's new into the UFC. she's okay. She picked up her first loss, which sucks. That was her first fight in the UFC. But Elise Ardean, yeah, I had no idea who this person was. They were talking about her. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not know who she was. And a lot of people were talking about her. I'm like, wow, she's popular? She has to be some fighter off some regional scene that I have not heard about or something like that. And I looked up some of her fights. I'm like, yeah, she seems like she's pretty decent. Who are these fighters though? What is this? MMA Battle Arena? EFC? UFT? What are these promotions? And I looked and she saw a ton of losses. But I'm like, wait, she fought Zhang Wei Li. Wait, what? And then I was like, why is she so popular? She's TikTok famous. She's TikTok famous and she's an OnlyFans girl. I'm like, oh. I looked up her TikToks. I don't have a TikTok, so I had to look this up on the browser. You can't look up TikToks on your phone. I looked at, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I don't like this fight. I've not talked about their fighting aspect at all. Shauna Bannon, from what I've seen, is the better fighter fighting the better brand of competition. Not much better, but give me Shauna Bannon a decision. Shite fight. Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosbie. This is one of the harder fights for me. Again, it's kind of like a Bukauskas versus Prachnio. I'm not a fan of either guy, but Patterson, he's tall, he's big, and he has a pretty big reach advantage. I could see a world where he pieces apart Kiefer Crosbie, and Kiefer Crosbie has just been unreliable. He got the crap out of him by Kevin Jousset. I did not like how he looked up against Gregory back in Bellator. Charlie Leroy back in Bellator as well too. He's been finished quite a bit. I just think Kiefer Crosbie is unreliable, and Sam Patterson I also think is not that reliable, to be perfectly honest with you, but I think he could win in this fight. I think he could piece him apart from distance. I just don't think he's really going to finish him. I'm going to be leaning towards Patterson. Let's look at the odds. Where is he? Patterson, where are you? Fight's not off. Okay, Patterson is a minus 375. Okay, then I was picking Patterson and I was saying, oh yeah, he's probably like minus 180. 375 tells me get that out of my face. He is not a good parlay piece. But yeah, Patterson decision, but get that out of my face. I actually believe this fight, by the way, is moved up to the main card. I don't know why this fight is on the main card over one other fight that I will talk about. That's stupid and idiotic, but this is a good fight. Christain, Leroy, Duncan, or CLD versus Gregory, Rodrigues, RoboCop. Ugh. God, don't you hate it when there's like a really good fighter? Like there's like a really good fighter on the come up. Yeah, they did move this to the main card. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Yeah, there's like a really good fighter on the come up. He's pretty solid. Like you like him. You want to like him. But then he just keeps fighting guys that you like more. And you're like, ugh. But he is better. But ugh. That's kind of what this fight is. I love RoboCop. If you know, I'm a big fan of RoboCop. I'm still upset to this day that he got chinned so badly by Bruno Ferreira. But CLD, he is an explosive fighter. He is a very efficient fighter, and I just think he's probably the better fighter in this matchup, which kinda hurts me, to be perfectly honest with you. So he beat Dusko Torovic, who I wanted to win a lot just because he's Serbian. I want the Serbian fighters to win. But I think CLD is a solid fighter, and he's very good when he fights in the UK. Very good in the UK. I could see him just absolutely putting a pace on him. He's got a ton of power. He is disgusting with his power. Don't know, I lost Armin Petrosian, to be honest with you. But he's disgusting with his power. And RoboCop, I've been saying it. His chin doesn't look the same. How did he also lose to Armin Petrosian? His chin just is Armin Petrosian really that good? I mean, I've been picking Petrosian in his fights, but is he really that good? But RoboCop, since the Cheaty fight, he gave it everything he had in that fight. Great fight, excellent fight. Go watch that. That was a very good card. Go watch that fight. He gave it everything he had, and since then, he's been chinny. Even though he only got knocked out by Bruno Ferreira and he won against Tulula and Tavares, he didn't look as good as he used to. It looked like he had been hurt. It looked like he was like terrified of like getting punched now. I'm telling you, it's stemming from the Chidi fight and going up against an explosive, dangerous, and powerful striker like CLD. I'm gonna have to go Christian Leroy Duncan, and I'm gonna have to go by TKO. Not just like I'm underselling Hobocop, it's just that both these guys are still warriors. They're still absolute warriors. And Hobocop, he's gonna go out on a shield, and I'm gonna be taking CLD by TKO. Oban Elliot versus Preston Parsons. Elliot, he is very, very well rounded. Not very, but he's very well rounded. Parsons, he has very high pressure, but his main thing is he wants to get on the ground. He wants to take you down. He wants to get on the ground. On the feet, he's just sloppy. He's very sloppy. Elliot, while he's good on the ground, good on the feet, good everywhere, he's not great everywhere. I don't want to be saying like he's some kind of god tier fighter. He's just very good. He's just good at all aspects, while Preston Parsons is really only good at one aspect, to be honest with you. He also, I don't think he's that good at keeping fighters on the ground. He's good at taking them repeatedly to the ground, but I don't think he's very good at getting them to the ground. I'm leaning towards Oban Elliot decision, not super high on it. I forgot to look at the odds for the last fight. I know Christian Leroy Duncan's a favorite. Yeah, I knew that. Oh, a lot closer I thought it'd be. In terms of this fight, oh wow, Oban Elliot, he's going to be the underdog. I think Oban Elliott's gonna win it, but not like much else to go off on it. I just like everything I've seen from Elliot a little bit better, to be perfectly honest with you. And on to the prelims. Mick Parkin versus Lukasz Brzeski. I don't like it. I don't like this fight. I'm leaning towards Parkin decision, but I'm not high on Mick Parkin at all, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, the Usman fight, he won it, but I think his stock went down. He's just a decision guy, simple as that. At all these fights, like, yeah, he's proving he has very good cardio, but every fight he's going the distance. Meanwhile, Lukasz Brzeski, not good. Simple as that. Not good. He's lost to mid fighters: Martin Buday, Carl Williams. Where's Waldo? I don't think any of them are really good. They're not awful garbage tier like a Sam Alvey, but I just don't think they're the best of fighters to be losing to. And he picks up a win against Walter Walker. Cool. A lot of Polskis on this card, and just I want to root for the Polskis, but I don't think the Polskis are going to be winning, to be honest with you, because they're pretty mid nowadays, man. It really sucks. Can Jan Blachowicz go back to being champion or something like that? I don't know. I'm going to be going Mick Parkin. Decision. Nothing special about this, but he can get a finish. He can. Karlan Loughran versus Ramon Tavares. I don't got a whole ton on this fight, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't have a whole ton on this fight. I believe this is super short notice, is it not? Yeah, whatever the case is. Wait a minute. I'm skipping over this fight because I actually think Jake Hadley might be in this fight. I think Tavares might have pulled out. Maybe that's why it's not up there. Oh, it has it has Hadley on the odds. Ah, okay. There we go. I was like, why didn't this come up during my preliminary research? I must have caught it at the time, right before his fight even popped up. But well, skipping that fight. Molly McCann versus Bruna, Brasil. I think this is a good spot for Molly McCann. I think this is definitely going to be, I'm sorry, a layup fight for her. It's in UK. They really want to put good matchups for a lot of these UK fighters, in case you haven't noticed, by Mick Parkin. CLD, I don't know if that's much of a layup, but I think the Sam Patterson, that's a layup. They want a layup for a lot of their UK fighters, and Molly McCann is no exception. But the thing is, Molly McCann, I'm gonna be honest with you, her one fight at strawweight, she looked damn good. She looked like she was taking the fight seriously. She came out, she wasn't all like goofing around. She was all serious, down to business, and she absolutely decimated her opponent. Was she good? No, not that good of an opponent, but it didn't matter, because when you dispatch of an opponent, like if you fight up against someone who's just not that good, you're supposed to dispatch of them the way Molly McCann did, and she absolutely did. So I like what I saw from her. But the thing is, I said this is a layup fight. Bruna Brasil is not the best of opposition, but we've seen Molly McCann lose layup fights. We've seen it against Sholenko, who's just not good. Not good at all. Picking up a loss to Carolina. Just bleh. And Molly McCann lost to her. Got submitted by armbar. Yeah, that's alarming. So she's missed layups before, but I don't think she's gonna miss this one. I'm very confident. Bruna Brasil hasn't looked good. She's got a win over Shauna Bannon in her UFC debut, and that's her best win. That's her best win. I mean, other than that, she doesn't have a win in the UFC. Yeah, I'm taking Molly McCann to win this. I definitely see why they put this fight together, because it should be a fun fight no matter what. Bruna Brasil still puts on some pretty fun fights overall, and I think that's just what they're going for. They're like, hey, what's a fun fight that we have high hopes that Molly McCann could win? So give me Molly to get it done. I'm gonna take Molly by TKO. What are the odds as well? Molly's got to be a huge favorite. I think I saw a glimpse of it. Minus 345. That's a parlay piece. That's a parlay piece. Not who was that earlier? Oh god, there's another very bad parlay piece. Parlay bait piece. But yeah, Sam Patterson. Molly McCann is way better of a parlay piece than Sam Patterson. Watch the blow up on my face. Oh, there's the man I was talking about. Nathaniel Wood taking on Daniel Pineda. Yeah, I got spoiled for me. Daniel Pineda is a massive favorite in this spot. Nathaniel Wood. What the hell? Nathaniel Wood is a massive favorite in the spot. That makes sense. Another London fighter, and basically they put him up against a guy who should put up a fun fight. But also, yeah, Pineda's gonna get killed. The reason why I don't think Nathaniel Wood's a good parlay piece is because it could get scary. Daniel Pineda, he is a wrecking ball. Think Hyder Emil last week. He's just insane. He goes out there, he is vicious. He is just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at you, and then he gasses out round 2. Gasses out. Nathaniel Wood is a solid technical striker. I don't think he has much power, but I think he's very solid. He's got a lot of decisions, but that just proves he could go the full 15. He could stall out the fight. He could extend it out, which he definitely is going to want to against a Daniel Pineda. He's going to want to survive and weather through that early storm to be able to survive against Pineda. And then after that, round 2, piece him apart and more likely finish him, to be honest with you. I know Nathaniel Wood doesn't have a ton of finishes as of late, but I think he could definitely and will definitely finish Daniel Pineda. It's just that there's a chance that Pineda can go out there and just blitz him and overwhelm Nathaniel Wood. But hometown advantage. I'm telling you right now, there's an issue I have with this fight, this card being so late, is because why are you doing this to the London fans? They're such a good fan base. They're always show out. They're always loud. They're always energetic. But now they're going to be watching this at night? In the morning, actually? Ugh. Give me Nathaniel Wood to win it by TKO. Now we're on to the main card, and with the main cards, I have slides. No, you're not right. You're right. In fact, actually, just because it's out of order, let's go with this one then. Because I'm pretty sure they bumped this down to, I know for sure the prelims, but now I'm hearing words that they might have bumped this down to the early prelims? What the fuck are we doing, UFC? But okay. This is a flyweight matchup between Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape. This is a number 1 contender fight between an undefeated prospect and a kind of fan favorite, kind of slightly. They just liked him just because he said the F word. But yes, Muhammad Mokaev, he's gonna be 23 years of age, 12 wins, not a damn loss, 2 knockouts, 6 submissions, 5'7" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 70-inch reach advantage, a 5.75 takedown average, a 72.76 significant strike accuracy. He has very low amounts of strikes though, very, very low amounts of strikes, 1.53 landed per minute, mainly grappling. So that number is pretty crazy, but not that. Manel Kape is actually very crazy. He is a minus 130 favorite, but I believe it actually swelled up to now they're both pick'ems. He has significant wins over Alex Perez, Tim Elliott, Rafael Filho, and Malcolm Gordon. Manel Kape is 30 years of age. I didn't realize he was that old. I didn't realize Muhammad Mokaev was that young. Oh my god, he's a baby. I'm way older than him. Jesus Christ. But yes, Manel Kape is 30 years old. He is 19-6. He has 11 knockouts, 5 submissions, 5'5" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 68-inch reach, disadvantage, a 0.65 takedown average, a 55.64% significant strike accuracy, plus 110 underdog. Like I said, it's closer to a pick'em. Significant wins over David Dvorak, Zalgas Zumagulov, and Ode Osborne. Right off the gap, I've said a lot of these London fighters have been set up for like easy W's. That's where this kind of ends. And there's a lot of UK fighters on here, and they're not all gonna win. They're not all gonna win. I'm very confident in everyone other than Sam Patterson that has came up so far. The UK English fighters. I'm confident in a lot of them, but there's gonna be ones that will lose, and the most acceptable are, honestly, it hurts me to say this because if you watch the channel, you know I'm a fan of Mokaev, surprisingly, is Mokaev and one other person. They're two that are in a danger spot because this is not a layup fight. This is a very difficult fight. Muhammad Mokaev, but one thing I'm going to say about him, a lot of people may not like his fighting style, but the thing is he's dog tough. He's dog tough. He's sneaking out the wins, and a lot of people are really crappy on him for his Perez performance. Like, not finishing Perez is bad. But he had diarrhea. He showed evidence of it. Wish I never saw that. Wish I bleached my eyes out afterwards. But whatever the case is, I could see that. Like, yeah, he goes life or death with these guys. Gets submission the last, like, 3 minutes. But his grappling's fun. He has suplexes. I like Muhammad Mokaev. I love the peek out he did against Elliot. And a lot of people are going to then say, oh, he's going life or death with Tim Elliott. I think Tim Elliott's a better fighter than anybody Manel Kape's fought. That's the thing. You saw my kind of with that. Manel Kape doesn't fight that much, guys. He really doesn't fight that much. He's been one fight a year up until 2021. He had a lot of fights in 2021. But other than that, one fight in 22, one fight in 23, and it's probably going to be one fight in 2024. He has a weight problem, which is why this fight might have been moved down, to be perfectly honest with you, because he might have missed weight. That makes sense, but I just like Muhammad Mokaev better in the spot. I think Muhammad Mokaev is going to be the better at where Manel Kape is bad. Manel Kape is very hard hitter, and he definitely could chin Mokaev. And Mokaev's striking defense usually just like relates to him just ducking down, which is very poor. But his flexibility, grappling ability, and also his little bit of reach, I think will all be able to help him against Manel Kape in the spot. I could see a lot of grappling heavy exchanges. I don't know if he'll finish Manel Kape via submission. That's his most likely way. He can, but I might lean more towards a decision. And keep in mind, decision, hometown favorite. I could see Muhammad Mokaev win this fight by a decision, to be honest with you. Manel Kape, the only time he's been finished has been submissions, but those were aeons ago, pre-UFC, so I don't know. I like Mokaev in the spot, though. I like his wrestling ability, and I think he could win. And like I said, like, Muhammad Mokaev has nothing but good wins. Like, he's got Cody Durden, who's winning, Charles Johnson, who's winning, Malcolm Gordon, I think, did he win his last fight? He lost his last fight because of Jimmy Flick. Ugh. Like, he's got good wins. Filio's good. Elliot's good. Perez is decent of a win. He knocked out his opponent's next fight. So, I don't know, man. I like Muhammad Mokaev in the spot. I think this is a pick'em. I think the odds are very accurate. But give me Mokaev to win it by decision. Now, on to the next fight, which is going to be Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. I like Giga. I thought he was fun. I liked his knockouts. I like the liver kick ability. I like it. I like it. But also, Arnold Allen's just too good. Arnold Allen is going to be on freaking point this fight. Because as you know with Arnold Allen, his last 2 fights, he did end up losing those fights. He was on a very good win streak. Only 1 loss. NA picked up 2 losses against 2 top-tier fighters, Movsar Evelev and Arnold Allen. By the way, his fight was not a robbery, and his fight was also not that bad compared to any of Aljamain Sterling's fights, for example. I only brought up Aljamain Sterling because he's fighting Movsar Evelev. But yes, Arnold Allen, he's very well-rounded. He could wrestle, he could strike, lower volume striking, but very pinpoint accurate. But he can go. He can blitz. He can just give it everything he's got and throw everything in the kitchen sink at his opponent like he did against Dan Hooker. I didn't break down the tail of tape in this fight. That's how excited I am for these fights, by the way. Giga Chikadze in their end, excellent striker, but I think we've seen his prime. So Arnold Allen's 30 years old. He is 19-3, 7 knockouts, 4 submissions, 5'8" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 70-inch reach disadvantage. That's a pretty big reach advantage for for Giga Chikadze. A 1.0 takedown average, which something to mention. One sec. Stupid fly. A 44.12 significant strike accuracy, minus 260 favorite, significant wins over Calvin Kattar, Dan Hooker, and Sadiq Yusuf. Giga Chikadze, 35 years of age, 15-3, 9 knockouts, 1 submission, 6 foot in terms of height, orthodox stance, 74-inch reach disadvantage, a 0.23 takedown average, a 44.20% significant strike accuracy, plus 210 underdog, significant wins over Alex Caceres, Edson Barboza, and Cub Swanson. Like I said and alluded to, I think Giga Chikadze is exiting his prime, unfortunately. Giga Chikadze got into the UFC too late, and he has not looked amazing in his last couple fights. As you know, 2 years ago now, he was absolutely butchered. He was eviscerated. I say eviscerated specifically because he genuinely was sliced to the brim by Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar said, nah, I'm not a boxer. I'm a samurai. And he just sliced him so bad. I just see Arnold Allen just blitzing him. I could see him blitz him. That's what he needs to do. He's usually a more patient striker. He's been opening up a little bit more his last fights, but I think what he needs to do and what would be very effective for him is just blitz like the Dan Hooker fight, blitz like that, and you'll just wear out Giga Chikadze because he's older. Yeah, the liver kick's a problem, but he's not going to be able to shoot out that liver kick if you're crowding him good enough, getting him clinched up against the fence, and just railing combos at him. His grappling's not that good, and he's really slowed down. Like, his fight against Caceres, he was very slow compared to his fights against Barboza, for example, to compare to his fights against Swanson. I just think Arnold Allen is a very solid pick. That's a parlay piece. His odds as well, I don't know how much they've changed. He's minus 250, so he's a little down, but I think he's very solid in the spot. I like Arnold Allen a lot in the spot. I like him as a parlay piece. Give me Arnold Allen to win it. I'm more feeling he's probably going to decision. Did I write decision? Right. I wrote TKO. Okay, so past Gomi is agreeing that probably going to be a knockout, just because I think he could really push the pace on Giga. So yeah, give me Arnold Allen to win by TKO. Next fight is going to be Bobby, actually now known as King Green, versus Paddy the Baddy. Let's just get into tail tape. Paddy Pimblett, he is going to King Green is going to be 37 years of age. God damn. 32, 15, 11 and knockouts, 9 submissions, 5'10" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 71-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.19 takedown average, not that high, Jesus Christ. A 55.21% significant strike accuracy, minus 125 favorite. Significant wins over Jim Miller, Grant Dawson, Tony Ferguson, and Nasrat Takpras. Paddy Pimblett is going to be 29 years of age, 21 wins, 3 losses, 6 knockouts, 9 submissions, 5'10" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 73-inch reach advantage, a 0.98 takedown average, a significant strike accuracy of 59.67%, and he is a plus 105 underdog. Significant wins over Tony Ferguson, Jared Gordon, asterisk, and Jordan Levitt. He lost the Gordon fight. Don't care what anyone says. Keep in mind, too, this is a man who bet on Paddy Pimblett. I live bet Paddy Pimblett and made money. he lost that fight. But wherever the case is, King Green, if you've followed the channel, I'm just not doing good with him. I pick him, he loses horribly. Pick against him, he wins. So my stock equity in Green has gone down compared to back in the good old days. I was picking Green fights like nothing. Like I picked him to beat Tony Ferguson. I picked him to lose to Dober. I picked him to lose to Makhachev. I picked him to beat Haqparast. I picked him to beat the shit out of Akinta. I picked him to lose to Fiziev. I picked him to lose to Moises. I picked him to beat Patrick. Oh my god, dude. I was doing good with Green. I've lost his last 3. Yep. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to be picking against Green. I think Paddy Pimblett has the style needed to piece apart Green. I just don't know how disciplined he is. Ballooning up and then getting fat and then ballooning and cutting it all is just not good on his health. And Paddy Pimblett did not look good his last couple fights, and his last couple fights, both against the Ferguson and Gordon fight. And he's coming off a surgery. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Green, his age has to catch up with him. He has to catch up with him at some point. He can get cocky and arrogant, but I think the age and the style of Pimblett, which is the style needed to beat Bobby Green, which is chaos, reckless, grappler. Reckless brawler, which will lead into opportunistic club and sub submissions, is how you need to beat Green. And he got some decent power dropping Tony Ferguson. I think he could drop Green. I think he could catch Green with a blitz. Because the thing is about Green is he's so good if you try to play that patient, pick your shots game. Like, that's where I went wrong with Miller's. Miller didn't have the volume or speed for Green. Pimblett has speed. He may not have accuracy, but he has speed and he has good power. Miller, when he was hitting Green, was hurting him. Paddy's going to miss 1, 2, 3, and then his 4th is going to hit him. It's going to provide some damage. If it gets to the ground, Paddy's going to win. Green is talking about getting down to the ground, showing his grappling. Yeah, his grappling's okay. It's okay against an old, washed-up Tony Ferguson. Otherwise, Paddy Pimblett is no joke when it comes to submissions, to be perfectly honest with you. And Green's chin has been chinned. It's been shattered before. Shattered by Turner. I'm surprised at how he looked against Miller after Turner literally turned into a corpse. Absolute corpseified him. Don't forget Jared Gordon knocked him out. Yeah, it was a... Well, no, he knocked him out. I'm sorry, I forgot. It was a headbutt. It was a headbutt. Whatever the case. Dober knocked him out. I'm telling you right now, Green's chin, it's got to go. It's going. I really feel it is. I think Paddy can chin him. So I'm going to lean towards Paddy to get it done by a knockout. But make no mistake, if it goes a distance, if Green doesn't butcher Paddy, if he doesn't butcher him and it goes a distance, Paddy will win. Paddy is a huge favorite over there. I know a lot of people have soured on Paddy. I've soured on not his performance against Gordon, but just how he acted afterwards. But make no mistake, Paddy, he's still big fan and favorite over there. If it goes a distance and Green has not butchered him and it's a close fight, they're giving it to Paddy. They're going to give it to Paddy. So cardio and surgery does worry me, but I'm going to be leaning towards Paddy Pimblett. Very haphazardly. I mentioned earlier how the most likely UK fighters to lose is going to be Mokaev, also Pimblett. Those are the two most likely to lose. Which then leads me into the co-main event of the evening and kind of reveals a little bit about it. But oh boy, I'm excited for this fight. Tom Aspinall taking on Curtis Razor Blaydes. Tom Aspinall's going to be 31 years of age, 14 wins, 3 losses, 10 knockouts, 4 submissions, 6'5" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 78-inch reach disadvantage. Man, he always has the reach disadvantage. A 3.48 takedown average, 3.46 takedown average, a 68.08% significant strike accuracy. That's insane. That's freaking crazy, by the way. And a minus 390 favorite. Significant wins over Sergey Pavlovich, Marcin Tybura, Alexander Volkov, and Sergey Spivak. Curtis Blaydes is going to be 33 years of age, 18 wins, 4 losses, 13 knockouts. Not a goddamn submission for a wrestler. Gee, I wonder what kind of wrestling he does. 6'4" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 80-inch reach advantage, a 5.72 takedown average, a 53.49% significant strike accuracy. plus 290 underdog. Significant wins over Gelton Almeida, Jairzinho Frozenstrike, Alexander Volkov, again, hi Volkov, and Junior Dos Santos. So first off, let me get my grievances with this fight. This is a super high profile fight. This is this is for the true UFC heavyweight belt. Because I'm sorry, I don't like talking about Jones. In case you are not new to the channel, I don't like him. I don't like the things he's done. I don't like him as a fighter as well too, but I really don't like the things he's done, and I don't like talking about him. But I'm going to talk about him now because I have to. He's holding up the division for his stupid fight against Stipe Miocic. Tom Aspinall beat the guy who should have been fighting for the belt, not Stipe. It should have been Sergey Pavlovich, who was on a 6-fight first round knockout streak. Tom Aspinall beat that guy. Tom Aspinall is 7-1 since Stipe Miocic last fought. Stipe Miocic has since he last had a win. Stipe Miocic last fought in 2021, 3 years ago, and he was knocked down in the second round brutally out cold. Why is he getting a title shot? Why? I can see, okay, cool. He's defending the belt, the interim belt. I really think if Jones is going to be injured for that long, he probably should have vacated like Yeti and Jamal Hill did, but he doesn't have that level of honor. I hate that. Disgusting. Yeah, money, but you're not honorable. It should be Tom Aspinall in there fighting against Jones. This, in fact, and if Jones wants to go have his stupid fight against Stipe Miocic, they should strip him and have it for the GOAT belt or something stupid, like a BMF belt. This should be for the true belt. And if Jones defends against Stipe, sport's cooked. If Jones defends against Alex Pineda, or if Jones fights anybody on Aspinall, it's whatever. This is essentially for the real belt. And Curtis Blaydes is also pretty worthy of fighting for as well too. He's on 1-fight win streak, so maybe not. I take that back. Regardless, I love this fight. I really loved it. It was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but didn't. Notice I didn't put the win for Curtis Blaydes in there because it wasn't a fight. This was a fight. Going back to it, people are going to say that Curtis Blaydes was piecing up Tom Aspinall. Go back and rewatch the fight. He actually wasn't. He actually missed almost all of his shots. He missed almost every punch. I think he landed 2 punches, if I remember correctly. Out of the 10 he threw, he landed 4. He landed 4 strikes. Tom Aspinall landed almost as many strikes. So he wasn't piecing up shite. Don't let Jones tell you otherwise. Whatever the case is, Curtis Blaydes, I'm not the hugest fan of, but I acknowledge his skill set. I acknowledge his power and his wrestling ability. But the main reason why I'm going to be heavily leaning towards Aspinall, it's not going to be bias. It's not going to be all that. And I'm not against picking my favorite fighters. Yes, Tom Aspinall is one of my favorite fighters. But I picked against Tom Aspinall's last 2 fights. Watch, now he's going to lose this fight. But I picked against Aspinall's last 2 fights. Marcin Tybura, I picked against him because of the injury. And then Sergey Pavlovich, I picked against him because of his chin up in the air. In this case, though, Tom Aspinall has everything he needs to beat Curtis Blaydes, in my honest opinion. Blaydes has better wrestling ability if he gets down to it, but Tom Aspinall has shown amazing takedown defense. Sergey Spivak tried taking Aspinall down with 2 pretty solid takedown attempts. And keep in mind, Sergey Spivak ragdolled Derek Lewis. Ragdolled him. I'm not saying Derek Lewis is the level of grappler that Tom Aspinall is, or even close, but the fact that he ragdolled him, he was tossing him around, judo slamming him. That means you should at least be able to get down Nope. Tom Aspinall countered those takedowns, and he launched knees to the body and an elbow to finish it. His clinch game, impeccable. Curtis Blaydes as well too. Is he even going to go for the clinch game? That'd be the good idea, but the thing about Curtis Blaydes is he has awful fight IQ. That's the main reason why I believe Tom Aspinall will win this. Yes, he's a slow plodding striker, and Tom Aspinall is a speedy sniper. Poor chin defense. He's got good defense, just he leaves his chin out. He does not get hit very often, but if he gets hit, he's taking them. But you can be scared. Look at the Arlovsky fight. Look at the Sergey fight. Curtis Blaydes has awful fight IQ. Curtis Blaydes lost to Sergey Pavlovich, knocked out in the first round. So don't use MMA math here, but the reason being is because Curtis Blaydes He boxed with Sudgate. Why are you boxing with him? What are you doing? He started to do that in the first fight against Tom Aspinall. If he does that against Tom Aspinall again, oh man. Oh man. But yeah, he was trying to box Sudgate Spivak. Sergey Spivak was boxing the bloody head off of him. And then once he finally realized, oh god, I'm losing this fight, I need to go for a takedown, it was too late. Too late. Sergey Pavlovich found the uppercut, his shovel uppercut, and just swarmed Blaydes. He had nothing for him. Absolutely nothing for him. We've seen it before too, that Curtis Blaydes chokes. He chokes in big fights. This is the biggest fight of his entire career that he only got because Tom Aspinall's knee blew up. He choked against Pavlovich. He choked against Lewis. He choked against Francis Ngannou in the second fight. I can see him choke again. And keep in mind, every time Curtis Blaydes has lost, all of his losses, I believe, have been knockout, are they not? Yes, every loss is by knockout. That chin's got to be going at some point. I know the Pavlovich fight is a little bit over a year ago. And we've seen too that he can be taken down. A lot of people were saying, oh, Blaydes' wrestling is amazing, is great. It is good. It's really good. It's beyond good. It's the best in division probably, but he can still be taken down. We've seen that he still can be taken down. Aspinall has no qualms taking you down. No qualms beating you on the feet. I think Aspinall will come out for wrestle, heavier approach, and get some ground and pound beatdowns on him. I think the Alan Boudreaux fight, I'm going to be taking Tom Aspinall, and I'm very confident in that pick. The only thing that scares me is that whenever I have my favorite fighters fighting on the same card, they haven't won together since, I think it was 236, UFC 236. Yeah, that was the last time I've had two of my favorites fight on the same card and win. Well, yeah, so that scares me. That scares me quite a bit. We have two of my favorites fighting on the same card. It's happened before. Two of my favorites have fought on the same card, by the way, recently. Especially within the same month, too, even. But yeah, whatever the case is, Tom Aspinall, I think, should take this by TKO within the first couple rounds. No disrespect to Blaydes, just that Aspinall is the guy to beat him. Leon Rocky Edwards taking on Belal Muhammad. Wow, I never thought the day would happen that I'm talking about Belal Muhammad getting a title shot. Let's get this out the way, boys. I'm excited for this fight. Yep. Let's get this out the way, boys. I like Leon Edwards. Let's get this out the way, boys. I don't hate Belal Muhammad. I dislike Curtis Blaydes more than I do Belal Muhammad, boys. But I still don't want Belal Muhammad to win. I'm not a fan of Belal Muhammad's fight style. I'm really not. Whatever the case is, doesn't matter what I'm a fan of. Let's talk about this fight that I think should be a very high-level matchup, and I think is actually going to be a much better fight than people are thinking. So, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad for the welterweight title. Leon Edwards is 32 years of age, 22 wins, 3 losses, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6'2" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 74-inch reach advantage, a 1.25 takedown average, a 59.36% significant strike accuracy. That is very good as well too. A -225 favorite. Significant wins over Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman twice, RDA, and Gunnar Nelson. Belal Muhammad is going to be 36 years of age, 23 wins, 3 losses, 5 knockouts, and 1 submission. Leon Edwards at least has double-digit finishes. They both have. Belal Muhammad has 1 more win. 5'11" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 72-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.98 takedown average, a 50.31 significant strike accuracy, plus 185 underdog. Significant wins over Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady, Vicente Luque, and Wonderboy. The one thing that comes out the page is I'm going to say Belal Muhammad, he actually has better wins than Leon Edwards. There's 2 wins against Kamaru. Honestly, the first win against Kamaru Usman is good, but then again, he's losing most of that fight. But also elevation at Denver. The second win is really good, but that was an Usman coming off a knockout loss, and he just didn't look the same. I think Usman's done. Other than that, Covington sucks. Sucked that fight. Awful. I think he's garbage now due to inactivity. RDA and Gunnar Nelson are okay wins. I think Belal Muhammad has the better wins. Burns? Yeah, Burns injured himself, but who cares? It's short notice. Belal Muhammad was injured. Brady, that's a good win. Luke, that's a good win. Wonderboy, the way he beat him is like expected. Belal Muhammad is tailor-made to beat Wonderboy, but still a good win. I don't know. I'm just gonna get some things out the way. Belal Muhammad has been inactive as of late, and I think inactivity is a problem. Like, a lot of people are going to try and say, oh, Leon Edwards is inactive. Leon Edwards has the same activity that Kamaru Usman did in his first, 1,000 days as a champ. And who has the more recent fight? Belal Muhammad hasn't fought since May 6th of 2023. Leon Edwards fought 8 months ago. It's more active. Simple as that. Leon Edwards fought twice in 2023. Belal Muhammad fought once. He's more active. Belal Muhammad's inactive. He's also 36. Remember the curse, boys. Yes, I know it's welterweight, but the curse extends to welterweight, and then what it happens is now it's like 2-40. The only person at 36 and over who had title wins is Tyron Woodley. Leon Edwards is in his prime, getting better. 3 training camps of preparing for wrestlers, and Belal Muhammad is not the kind of wrestler that's going to give Leon Edwards a problem. He is not as good a wrestler as Kamaru Usman, who is a high pressure, high volume takedown guy with good hands. Belal Muhammad has good kicks. He's got no power in his hands, and his kicks are very solid, but he just he's low volume. Simple as that. That's the thing about Muhammad, is he's very low volume, especially with his takedowns. 1.98 takedowns per 15 minutes. Yeah, that you need to be like a Colby Covington or Kamaru Usman. 35% takedown accuracy as well. Keep in mind, Belal Muhammad is not just a grappler like a lot of people think. He didn't shoot any takedowns against Brady or Burns, I believe. None. I don't think he shot any. But what he is good is he switches stance. He's not a switch stance fighter, but he's good at switching stances to confuse people and then just blast kicks out and just kind of like kick you to death, basically. That's what he mainly does. Or his hands looked, okay, just overwhelmed Sean Brady. That was just really exploiting Sean Brady's weakness, was just a good jab. Not even a great jab, just a good jab. Belal Muhammad just doesn't have the tools needed to beat Leon Edwards, to be honest with you. The only thing, again, that worries me about this is just the fact that, I really like Leon Edwards and Tom Aspar, 2 of my favorite fighters, and I could see them lose because of that. Otherwise, it's a high confidence pick for Leon Edwards, to be honest with you. I think Leon Edwards is much sharper of a striker. I think he's better grappler, to be honest with you. He took down Usman, and he's looked solid in grappling exchanges. His takedown defense is looking impeccable. I think Leon Edwards, his problem is he fights down to his opponents, which could be an issue, but if he pushes the pace, he could easily get a knockout. Do we still have Kamaru Usman's arm on him? He could definitely get a knockout finish on Belal Muhammad. I think there was enough in the first fight to talk about. Unlike Aspinal Vs Blaydes, there was enough in the first fight to talk about it. Edwards came out very aggressive, mainly because he probably saw that Belal Muhammad in the past has struggled against southpaws, i.e. Jeff Neal. I think Leon Edwards can push the pace on him. And also keep in mind, Belal Muhammad works really well getting you up against the fence. This is a much bigger cage, and Leon Edwards has excellent lateral movement. His strikes to the body were going to be very efficient as well too. I like Leon Edwards in every aspect in this fight, to be honest with you. I don't want to discredit Belal Muhammad, and he's the guy who should have got a title shot over Colby Covington, but I just got to say it like it is. I truly believe that Leon Edwards is going to be better in each aspect. I think he's really going to put it on Belal Muhammad, and I can see a finish. But Belal Muhammad, he is pretty tough. He's pretty durable. He's been chinned in the past, but those were so many years ago. He was chinned by Vicente Luque in 2016. Am I going to pick him to get finished now? Probably not. I'm really just probably leaning towards Leon Edwards, I guess, money line, but the money line's shite. It's garbage. If it gets anywhere in the minus 100 range, easy, but nah. Other than that, I just like overall the kicks of Leon Edwards. I like his straight left. That straight left is his best shot. It's his second best shot. His left high kick is his best shot. But his second best shot, that straight left, I think could be money all day. Belal Muhammad's striking defense, I think, is so piss poor because he just flails his arms. You see in the first fight, he flails his arms to try and confuse shots. It just doesn't work. It's like when you pressure Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland's defense is amazing on the front foot, but on the back foot, he's just flailing. And that's what Belal Muhammad kind of does. I also don't think Belal Muhammad's going to have an easy time getting Leon Edwards to the ground. And I just, like, he's got Khabib teaching him stuff, but I don't think Khabib's going to be in his corner. If Khabib's in his corner, it's going to be a little bit more worrying. But other than that, just Khabib giving him an outline isn't enough. It's not. I like this fight. And I think it's going to be more of an exciting fight because I think Belal Muhammad will push pace. He will bring pressure to Leon Edwards, and I think Leon Edwards will push pace and bring pressure to him. But I'm going to be taking Leon Edwards. Haphazardly decision, but I could see him knock him out. But oh well. For other cases, that has been my thoughts on UFC 304. I gotta say, one big issue I have with this is, God, that start time is awful, bro. I feel for the UK fans, dude, because they're so good. They have 2 champions now, a good card, and why is it at 3 a.m. for them? Oh, because they want it to be prime time elsewhere. I am someone who is prime time for me. Screw that shizer, please. This would be so good if this was at like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. I'd love that. I think almost all fans would love that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't go to a bar and watch these fights anymore. I don't do that. I'm too old for that now. We go to my friend's house, or in his condo, he has like a place where he can rent out, or we even go to a theater for it, man. I just think that's dumb. It's really like, I know Tom Aspinall said, if you fight worse at 4 a.m. than you do at like 12 p.m. or a.m. or whatever, then you were never really that good. I get it. That's the right mindset to have. But I don't know. I still think it will affect people. I still think it will. We saw freaking GSP having relationship problems wherever and getting knocked out by Matt Serra and tapping to strikes. I don't know. I'm scared. But I think it should be a very good fight. I just hope the time doesn't become an issue. But yep, this should be overall a really good card. I really like it. I went long with this one because you can tell I actually like this one compared to the last couple. But yes, be sure to let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.